Hey, Grunkster here with Kronk, the new product that will remove any stain from any surface, from wood to metal. It's so easy, even your great-great-grandmother could figure out how to use it. Now, the steps are simple. First, wipe down and vacuum the surface you want to apply Kronk to. Then, apply Kronk very generously. After that, wait 30 minutes and let it dry. Then you're going to wipe off all the extra as shown. Now you should end up with a sparkling, shiny surface. Now, at Kronk Co., we have noticed that you viewers and consumers have put in some negative reviews, as shown here, that kind of say that you don't really know how Kronk is made and you don't know what's going into it if you're getting a environmentally friendly product. Now, here's an inside look at the processes used to create Kronks, like this one here. Hey, I'm Chonk Choncher, and I am the Igneous Manufacturing Manager here at Kronk Co. At Kronk Co., you can be sure that we have the best of ingredients in our Kronks. Now, for igneous, it can come out 3 different ways. They are intrusive, extrusive, and crystallization. But no matter what, we start by pouring harvested lava into a processor. And from there, it can cool intrusively. That's what happens when we put the mold underground, and it cools underground around other Kronks and rocks. But rocks are kind of worse because they're natural. When we do this, crystals can form, but more on that later. Some examples of this are diorite, gabbro, granite, and more. It can also cool extrusively, which is when the magma that we pour into the mold can get pushed out by the tectonic plates or other Kronks and rocks, and it'll cool above ground. Now, some examples of this are obsidian, basalt, pumice, tuff, and many more. Crystallization occurs the same way as intrusive cooling. Now, if it cools fast, if that magma cools really quickly, the crystals are very, very small. But then whenever it cools slowly, that's when the crystals get a lot bigger. Thank you. On to the next person. Hello, Thruncher here, and another option for our Kronks are sedimentary. Usually we make the sedimentary Kronks with sediment, which is basically just sand, pretty simple, but, apparently some of you guys aren't very smart. It's basically just sand, and we start by putting the sediment into a press. Usually this happens underground, in a river. And basically, this pushes layers of that sand together to form rock, like, pretty simple stuff, Kronks. And usually, like, they'd be transported from land or a river by a river or wind into a river or just under a mountain or something, something like that. And they'd just be pressed together really, really hard. And there would be multiple layers of sediment, and we add it manually, though, because, we're not going to take all that time to make Kronks here at Kronk Co. Hey, it's me, Thruncher again, and I guess I had more to talk about. I don't really know. Don't want to be here, actually. And now, some of our reviews here at Kronk Co. talked about erosion, weathering, deposition, and lithification, and if we use them. Now, if you guys were actually smart, you'd know that clearly we do, because, we're not a dumb company. Now, erosion is when the particles are moved and deposited. They're kind of pushed away at something. It wears away at something. A river, a wind, something like that can wear away at rocks or sand, stuff like that. And weathering occurs when wind or exposure to the atmosphere wears away at something. It's kind of similar to erosion, but erosion actually just moves the particles. Whereas, weathering just wears away. That makes it smaller, more smooth. That's how you get those smooth rocks that, you always find at the bottom of rivers. Deposition is the process of sediments being layered. It's basically just the movement of the sand. It's the sand layering on top of each other. If you're smart, you can understand that a little bit better. Lithification is the process that occurs at the bottom of the ocean where the sediment or clay is compacted into rock form. That's, again, like I said, it can be pushed somewhere and compacted with a lot of pressure, and we do in fact use all these processes. And if you were smart, you wouldn't leave reviews like that. Obviously. On to the next person, because I don't want to be here anymore. Hi, I'm Walk Wuncher, and if you couldn't tell, there's also another option called metamorphic, and according to my calculations, metamorphic Kronk is actually just sedimentary or igneous Kronk that has been changed by some process. Now, one of the processes that we use here at Kronk Co. is called heat and pressure. It's basically exactly what it sounds like, just heat and pressure, pressing down on that rock and changing it. That Kronk is just being changed in some way by that heat and pressure. It can bend. That's how you get those layers that bend like that. Have you ever seen like a tectonic plate fault boundary where it bends like that? Oh wait. Sorry, I'm getting off top. Sorry. And now, anyways, it's a lot more heat and pressure than most people think, and it just changes. Some examples of these are found very deep in the earth, where the tectonic plates interact. That's why the fault lines. They show the sorry. No. Okay, so chemical change is another process I've been told by the director over there, you little jerk. Now, it occurs when a rock reacts with slightly acidic water, salts, or just something that changes the molecular structure of the rocks. The molecular structure can change. Okay, so I'm not supposed to talk about that. Now, it can also change the molecular structure of the soil. And uniformitarianism is not really related, but it is very important in the creation of cronks. It's basically saying that processes that occurred billions and millions of billions of years ago are the same as the processes that occur now to form cronks and rocks. Well, okay, so cronks weren't being formed then because, the factor. Sorry, no, it's okay. And, basically the rocks that formed a while ago, they formed the same way as they form now. They used to form igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic, whatever. They used to form the way that they do now. That was a very interesting look at how cronks are made sustainably with renewable resources here at Kronk Co. And if you want to get yourself one of these amazing options like metamorphic, sedimentary, or igneous, head on over to kronk.com and get yourself one cronk for $19.99. But wait, if you call in the next 6 seconds, we'll throw in an extra 3 cronks for only $39.99. Isn't that great? If you call in the next 3 seconds, again, you'll get an extra 3 cronks for only $39.99. Such a low price and a great deal. How could you not accept? Thank you.
Call now to redeem your 3 cronks for only $39.99. Call 1-800-CRONKS. Call now. Cronks, the best stain remover ever. Side effects include compulsive need to buy more cronks.